So I got married last week, and like most people, I wanted to get in really good shape for it. Ultimately, this is the progress that I was able to make from the start of this wedding prep phase up until the week of the wedding. As you can see, I'm much more defined, body fat percentage is a lot lower, and I'm happy with the way things turned out. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what I did in order to lower my body fat percentage and get as ripped as I could for my wedding, in case you wanna take any ideas from it or implement any of this yourself. And if you're new here, my name is Jesse Rosenthal. I'm a personal trainer, been coaching clients for about 11 years now. And for the last 6 years, I mainly coach men online through my Modern Man program to build their best physique and health. And if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing to my channel. So when I started this wedding prep phase, I was coming off of a lean bulking phase where I was on the heavier side, and my main goals was actually to gain weight and build muscle and get stronger. And this was around the week of April 19th, 2023, and I was weighing in around 163, as you can see from my personal tracker here. And this is when I started preparing to enter this wedding prep phase where I was gonna lower my body fat percentage and try to get leaner for my wedding, which was at the end of August. And this phase ultimately turned out to be about 16 weeks long, and I ended up losing about 13 pounds. So at the time of making this video, I'm sitting around 150 pounds, and like I said, when I started the phase, I was around 163. So I lost at a rate of just under 1 pound per week, which is honestly more weight than I had even planned to lose in the first place. I was hoping to be around 155 for the wedding, and I overshot that by 5 pounds. But the truth is, I'm feeling really good when I'm training in the gym, with how I look, with how I feel. So overall, I'm happy with how it turned out. My best piece of advice, if you're trying to get in shape or lose weight for your wedding or for a specific time frame or vacation or something like that, is to give yourself more time than you think is necessary to achieve that goal. So if you're watching this trying to lose like 20 pounds for your wedding, which is in 2 weeks, it's too late, man. Can you lose, a few pounds in a week or in a couple weeks? Of course you can. But to significantly change your physique or your body composition in a way where it's noticeable, that takes more time. And it's always better to give yourself way more time than you think that you need, rather than try to rush and, lose weight as fast as possible and get all worked up about it. Because the truth is, the scale isn't going to go down every single week. And if you can lose even just 1 pound of actual body fat per week, that's considered really good. And the vast majority of humans are really only gonna be able to lose between 1 and 2 pounds of pure body fat per week. So if you hear about these people who have lost 5 or 10 pounds in a week on this special drastic diet they're doing, that's not all body fat, right? That's a bunch of water weight, maybe it's some muscle mass, and maybe it's 1 or 2 pounds of body fat as well. So for me, this is how the trend in weight loss progressed over the first 1 to 2 months. So I started off at that 163 weight, and my weekly average weight, so the 7 days of that first week combined and averaged out, was 162.2. The next week, the weekly average weight was 161.4, so I was trending down. The week after that, the weekly average weight was 160.8, so still trending down. The week after that, I dipped down into the 150s, and the weekly average was 159.7. So it was going really well, and I was losing consistently, and then I hit a 2-week period where the weekly average weight was literally exactly the same. It was 160.0 for 2 straight weeks. Then I got it trending down again, and the weekly average was 159.4. The week after that was 158.1. The week after that, I got into the 157s, and the weekly average was 157.8. And if I was to continue and show you the last 2 months of weekly average weigh-ins, you'd see the weekly average come all the way down to 150. And the truth is, my friend, that is what gradual, sustainable fat loss actually looks like. And over this time, what I was doing to create this predictable weight loss was gradually reducing my calorie intake over time. When I finished my lean bulking phase back in April, I was eating more food, because the more food you eat, the more likely you are to be able to build muscle and get stronger. You have more fuel, right? So I was eating about 3,500 calories at the point of starting this wedding prep phase. And this week, I'm eating about 2,700 calories. So over the last 16 weeks, me and my coach gradually reduced the amount of food I was eating over time from that 3,500 ultimately down to 2,700. And we made these adjustments in increments of anywhere from about 100 calories up to 300 calories of reductions. And these weren't reductions randomly made. They were made based on how quickly I was losing weight or if I stalled out. And as you can see, I reached my goal of getting to 155 pounds, and even I lost 5 more than that without going below 2,700 calories. So I'm not even really dieting that hard at all. It's been a pretty relaxed and quite frankly, pretty easy fat loss phase for me. And if you'd also like some professional help to track your food properly and create some predictable weight loss like I did, feel free to reach out. Or go below in the description of this video and check out my Modern Man Program website, and you can see if it might be for you or something you might want to consider. But in regards to my training and working out, my workouts didn't really change much from my lean bulking phase transitioning to this fat loss phase. I strength train anywhere from 4 to 6 times per week. My sweet spot is usually about 5 times per week. But my training style and program that I'm following doesn't really change to lose these 13 pounds. I'm still doing 3 to 4 sets of most exercises, and I'm still training really hard to try to finish each set at least somewhat close to failure. And I'm still trying to look for opportunities to increase weights safely while still maintaining proper form at every instance that I can. So that never changes. That mindset never changes whether you're in a lean bulking phase, a muscle building phase, or if you're trying to get leaner and lose weight. And this is a big part of what helped me retain most of my muscle while I was losing body fat in this phase. Now for cardio, the main thing I was doing was aiming for 10,000 steps per day. But in addition to that, what I was doing was between 1 and 2 sessions of 30-minute cardio sessions per week. And this can be any form of cardio, but what I was doing was putting the treadmill on a 10.0 incline and then walking at a 3.0 speed. I really like that style of cardio because it's lower to moderate intensity. I don't have to get my heart rate up through the roof. It's not high impact on my joints. I can listen to a podcast or an audiobook or something while I'm doing it, and it contributes to my daily steps count as well. And that's really it when it comes to cardio. You know, the nutrition and eating the right amount of total calories consistently is what really is going to do the heavy lifting when it comes to actually losing weight. And in regards to accountability, I have a weekly check-in with my coach where I send him my final macros for each day. I send him my steps count for each day, my progress photos, and a bunch of other metrics that I track as well. And I have to say, just in case you take progress photos as well, it really feels like week to week when you take your progress photos that literally nothing is changing. But if you're generally doing things right with your macros, if you are training hard and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and you're being really consistent with this stuff, after many months, if you line up your recent progress photos with the ones from 3 months ago or 6 months ago, there should be some noticeable difference. Like as you can see in the ones that I showed you here, it's not a drastic difference, but it is noticeable. There's some more tightness and definition in my core. And mostly I notice the changes when I'm working out in the gym. When I'm wearing a tank top or a t-shirt and I'm training and my muscles are actually at work and the lighting is different, that's where I can tell that there's more vascularity there, or there's less body fat around my arms or my muscles. And that is where you're really going to notice it more often than in your progress photos, where often you're not flexing, you're in the same lighting all the time. Sometimes maybe you're fasted, you know, it's before you worked out. But as somebody who's also a natural men's physique competitor, what I can say is that this wedding prep wasn't all that different from a prep I might do to get ready to compete for a show. Up until this point, these last 16 weeks, it's been very, very similar to the first 16 weeks of preparation for a show, I would say. I'm definitely taking things more flexibly and being more lenient with my nutrition right now than I would be if I was gonna compete in a show. For example, I'm eating out maybe twice a week, going out to eat or ordering food out. I'm allowing myself to include probably more foods that you might see as unhealthy or less nutritious foods, like a dessert once a week or like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich type of food that, there's not a whole lot of nutritional value to those. So I'm allowing myself to have those more frequently than I would if I was gonna compete. And the truth is, if I was going to compete in a show, one thing that I would be very strict on is going out to eat. I would try to eat out probably 0 times in the week, maybe 1 time at most. And even that 1 time I would go out to eat, it would only be to a place that has the macros listed online for all the foods. So something like Chipotle or something where I wouldn't have to estimate what the macros are. Where there would be a difference in a competition prep is pretty much at the point where I'm at now, right? I would get to this point where I'm at now, 150 pounds, maybe around 10% body fat or so, maybe 11% body fat, and I would probably have to go harder at dieting and at cardio to take things to the next level. I would probably have to extend where I'm at right now another 4 weeks to even up to 8 weeks, because I'd probably need to drop another 5 to 10 pounds of body fat, depending on how competitive I would want to be in the show. So this is the point right now where the program would get more strenuous. I would probably be doing between 3 and 5 days of cardio for 30 minutes rather than just 1 or 2 days of cardio like I'm doing now. I'd probably also have to bring my calories down more aggressively, maybe around 2,000 calories or up to 2,200 calories. So again, not anything super drastically low, but a good 400 or 500 calories less than I'm currently eating. But there you go, guys. That's the video. I really hope that this was helpful. I always like sharing and documenting what I'm doing in my fitness and in my phases to lose body fat or build muscle or see the results that I'm seeing. So I really hope that that was valuable, even just 1% to you. It was an amazing wedding, a special day. I had friends there, family there from all over. Even clients in my Modern Man program came to be there for the special day. Guys flew in from Florida, from Virginia, from various states, Massachusetts, New York. It was a really special day with, the people we care about. So thank you again for watching. I'll see you on the next video.